This is the last year question paper for M.A. English students, and the name of this paper is Fundamentals of Literary Criticism. So, just let us have a look. Attempt all the sections as per given directions. There will be 3 sections, section A, section B and section C. Attempt all the 5 questions, short answer, not exceeding 100 words. So, section A will be based on very short type answer questions. The very first question is related to this section. How does Longinus define sublimity? Second one is give Wordsworth's concept of diction in his lyrical ballads. So, these both questions are very important because Longinus he is well known for his theory of sublimity, sublime. What is Alambana Vibhav according to Bharata? Comment briefly on Dryden's stand on tragicomedy. Okay, this one is also very important, and this type of questions are always asked. Longinus' sublimity, Wordsworth's lyrical ballad and his concept of diction, and Dryden's his tragicomedy. He always stands for tragicomedy, and you have to give reasons here why he takes the favor of tragicomedy. Dr. Samuel Johnson he also took the favor of tragicomedy. Critically examine Johnson's views on the use of the supernatural in Shakespeare's plays. Then section B, attempt any 2 questions. Here in the very first section you were not given any option, means you were given only 5 questions and out of 5 you have to answer only 5. But here in the section B you have been given here option, means out of 3 questions you have to answer to only 2 questions. The very first is from this section, critically examine Aristotle's conception of the tragic hero. Aristotle's conception of the tragic hero. Sidney's An Apology for Poetry mirrors the chief preoccupations of literary criticism during the Renaissance. Sidney's An Apology for Poetry. Next one is nothing is poetry unless it transports. Again Longinus, nothing is poetry unless it transports. Okay, again lofty ideas or sublimity. Discuss Longinus' views on the function of poetry. So, what are the functions of poetry according to Longinus? You have to discuss here. Then section C, answer any 3 questions in about 500 words. Section C, it will be descriptive type questions will be here. The very first is Aristotle considers tragedy as the highest form of poetry as it arouses the emotions of pity and fear. Okay, what do you find here? Catharsis. The emotions of pity and fear. And according to Aristotle, catharsis was very important for a tragedy. So, Aristotle considers tragedy as the highest form of poetry. Why? Because a tragedy always gives catharsis, or it always creates the emotions of pity and fear. Do you agree? If you agree, then you have to give reasons. In brief, we can say that Aristotle's theory of tragedy, and especially mentioning catharsis here, explain Coleridge's theory of imagination. Okay, so theory of tragedy and theory of imagination. Discuss the method of critical evaluation prescribed by Matthew Arnold. That is also very important. Touchstone method. What has Dryden to say about the 3 unities in drama? Dryden's 3 unities in drama. Next one is evaluate Johnson's contribution. Dr. Samuel Johnson's contribution to Shakespeare criticism with reference to his preface to Shakespeare. And then next one is define Rus and explain the constituents of Rus. Comment on Wordsworth's views on the process of poetic creation. So, all these were questions related to this paper, fundamentals of literary criticism.